Today we're going to install the Eaze Z3 bidet seat. This is as easy to install as it is to operate. Obviously, very easy to use remote control. And we'll walk you through all the little steps for installation. Obviously, it's a little bit easier here in a studio setup than it will be in your home, but we're going to give you some tips and tricks for how to install it easily in your home. Tools you're going to need: a screwdriver. I like one that goes from flathead to Phillips. 2 screwdrivers is fine. I just like the interchangeable one. I always like to have a pair of flat gooseneck pliers here and something to sop up water just in case, because there will be a little bit of water spillage. I like these Swedish dishcloths. They're quite absorbent. They're like a ShamWow kind of material. So I like these, but any sort of rag will do. I have it easier here because I have a lot of room to move around this bidet. However, in your home, you're not going to have this kind of room, and your water supply may not be brand new. So I'm going to start off by turning off the water supply, making sure that it shuts off well, and then draining the tank. I'm going to hold down on this lever until after I hear all the water stop moving. Now I'm going to disconnect the water supply hose from the bottom of the tank. Use your cloth to catch water as it comes out. And if everything's good with your water shut off, that's awesome. You can continue with your install. You just want to make sure that that water shut off in your home works well. If that water shut off has problems, you're going to want to replace that shut off for the safety of your bathroom. Whether you install a bidet or not, this water shut off really needs to work well, so make sure to check that. With your bidet, you're going to get a T-connector. This T-connector is going to have a rubber washer in it, and that is going to connect to the bottom of your toilet tank here. We're just going to line that up and tighten it. This just needs to be hand tight. You do not need any plumber's tape because you're not sealing with the threads. You are sealing with the rubber washer that's in there, the compression of that rubber washer. And tightening it more than hand tight can actually crush that rubber washer and create a leak. So hand tight, maybe a quarter turn more, but hand tight should do the job. And you can rotate this wherever you like it for your water supply. On this toilet, I like to hide the water supply hose as much as possible and point this water inlet towards the back. Now, if you're in a situation like this where you have a supply hose that's a little long for where your toilet supply was, and you add a T-connector, you may end up creating quite the pinch in your water supply line. If that's the case, it can be a really good idea to buy a new water supply line that's a good length for your new setup. That's where the gooseneck pliers come in. Grab onto this, give it a little turn, and the rest of it should be able to be done by hand. A little bit of water leaks out, and we're going to catch that with our cloth. In this scenario, a 12-inch supply line works great. I'm going to get this hand tight down here. I'm going to take my pliers and give myself a turn beyond hand tight just to snug it up. No more than that, because I don't want to crush that rubber washer. Again, make sure you have a rubber washer in this side and connect it up to your new T-connector. And again, hand tight is all you need. Your toilet seat will need to be removed. This can be a tricky thing as well. So you're going to check the top and the bottom to see how your toilet seat is removed. Some will have a nut on the bottom you need to remove with pliers or a socket wrench, and some will have a spot on top for a screwdriver. This one's the top for a screwdriver. I'm going to make sure my flathead screwdriver is here. Pop these caps up. These have a Phillips head top. And I'm just gonna unscrew them here. Now to install the bidet, you're gonna need to take the mounting plate that comes with your bidet and set it over the bolt holes. Then you're gonna take the bolts that come with the mounting plate and drop them through the grooves in the mounting plate into the bolt holes on your toilet. Next, you're gonna take your rubber cone washer and your retaining clip and you're gonna place them on the bottom side of your bolt here. Probably place a finger on the top side just to help that bolt stay in place. Push them up and take the nut on the bottom side and tighten this, just hand tight. And do the same thing on the other side. Rubber cone washer, retaining clip, and then the nut. If you have a riser on your toilet and want to install this unit, you will need to get some longer bolts. We do have these as a kit if you want them, or you can source them at a local hardware store. But longer bolts do work to connect this seat with a riser. Also, if you want added security, you can pick up some of these locking bricks. We also have these for added security, and there's a video linked here for how those work. Now we're going to install the Eaze onto the mounting plate. You've got grooves here that are going to line up with the mounting plate, and these little nubs are going to lock in place. So you're going to set the bidet down, line it up with the mounting plate, and when you get close, just give it a quick shove, and it's going to lock in place. Give it a little pull from the front. It doesn't move. You're in good shape. Now, if the seat is slightly forward, and it's possible when you install it, it's overhanging your toilet a little bit, or maybe it's pushed back a little too far. That's okay. What you're gonna do is loosen the nut on the bottom just a little bit on each side and push it back until you get the distance you want from the front of the seat and the front of the toilet. I usually like them to line up. If the lid comes over the top and overhangs a little bit, I prefer that and having the seat lining up perfectly. Now, let's tighten it back up. If you need to remove this bidet, and you should for cleaning every once in a while, what you're gonna do is grab the housing here on both sides and rotate the front of it up, so this side up like this, and then you're gonna wiggle it and pull out like that. That gives you room to come in, clean the bottom, clean anything there, slide it back in, and you're good to go. Now that your bidet is secured in place, we're gonna take our supply hose and connect it to the bidet. Again, hand tight. Make sure the rubber washer is on it and connect this side to your T connector. Make sure all your connections are tight and turn on your water supply. As you turn it on slowly and check for leaks. Keep checking until your toilet tank is full and you build up full pressure. You may notice a cold feeling with some of the metal. Just make sure it's dry. Sometimes cold feels like wet, but in this scenario, we're just fine. Now that we have the water supply connected, we're gonna plug it in and listen for it to power up. I can see some lights on back here and I heard a little beep, so we're good to go there. Now you're gonna take the remote control, slide the panel off the back, push down on that door to open it up, And 2 AA batteries come with this remote control. The first battery, you're going to take the negative side and slide it in just like this. Second battery, same thing, negative side, slide it in. Take the battery door, line it up and push back into place. Take your mounting bracket and slide that up, and your remote is good to go. So now we want to test the unit to make sure it's working. On the right side, when facing the toilet, there's a skin sensor. So I'm going to cover that skin sensor, and now I can run a wash. So I'm going to run a rear wash. It thinks someone's seated, so it's going to run this. If no one's seated, no wash runs. Water's coming out, so it's working really well. I'm going to take my hand off of the skin sensor, and it's going to turn off because it doesn't want to flood the bathroom if no one's there, so it's a great security mechanism there. And the bidet works. So now that your Eaze bidet is installed, you'll want to put your remote someplace where it's easy to use. I recommend near the toilet paper because that's usually in a place that's easy to access when you're sitting on your toilet. The only thing to remember is that to replace the batteries, you'll need to slide this up out of its mount. So make sure there's a little bit of clearance above where you place this so you can slide it out. You will adhere it to the wall with the adhesive on the back. You can pull the wax paper off and adhere it there, or use the screw holes in the mounting plate. So figure out where you want it. I love adhering it just because it's so easy. You line it up and push it in place and it's good to go. Well, you are all set with your Eaze bidet seat.
ManyBidets.com, where we sell mini bidets, not mini bidets.